I asked my wife what she wanted for her birthday. Her answer made me walk away forever. Asterisk, the morning light filters through our bedroom curtains like scattered diamonds, and I watch Elena's face in the golden glow. She's beautiful, has always been beautiful, but there's something distant in her green eyes as she stares at the ceiling. Something that makes my chest tighten with unnamed dread. Your birthday's next week, I say, my voice rough with sleep and something else. Hope, maybe. Desperation. She doesn't look at me. Her fingers trace absent patterns on the white sheet between us, and I want to catch her hand, bring it to my lips, make her remember what we used to be. I know, her voice is flat, professional, the same tone she uses with difficult clients at her law firm. I roll onto my side, studying the elegant curve of her neck, the way her dark hair spills across the pillow like spilled wine. What do you want for your birthday? I mean, now she looks at me. Those eyes that once looked at me with such fire, such passion, are cool as winter ocean. What I want, anything. The word comes out more desperate than I intended. A trip to Paris. That necklace you were looking at. A new car, name it, Elena. Whatever makes you happy. She's quiet for so long I wonder if she's fallen back asleep. But her eyes are open, fixed on mine with an intensity that makes my pulse quicken. Not with desire this time, but with fear. You really want to know what I want, David? I nod, though something in her tone makes me want to take the question back. Pretend this conversation never started. She sits up slowly, the sheet falling away from her bare shoulders. Even now, even with that coldness radiating from her like frost, she's breathtaking. The morning light catches the gold in her hair, and for a moment I remember what it felt like to wake up beside her when we were happy. I want you to disappear. The words hit me like ice water. I actually flinch. Elena, you asked. She swings her legs out of bed, her back to me. That's what I want for my birthday, David. I want you to disappear. I sit up, reaching for her. You don't mean that. She turns, and the look in her eyes stops me cold. There's no anger there, no heat, just emptiness, as if she's already gone, and I'm looking at a ghost, don't I? The question hangs between us like a blade. I search her face for any sign that this is some cruel joke, some test I'm failing. But Elena has never been cruel. Distant, yes, cold, lately, but never cruel. When did you start hating me so much? The question tears from my throat before I can stop it. Something flickers across her face, pain, maybe, or regret. But it's gone so quickly I might have imagined it. I don't hate you. She stands, moving to her dresser, pulling out clothes with mechanical precision. That would require feeling something. The words hit harder than hate would have. I watch her dress, the black skirt, the cream blouse, the way she buttons it with fingers that don't shake even though mine are trembling. She's beautiful in her armor of silk and steel, and completely unreachable. Elena. My voice breaks on her name. What happened to us? She pauses at the mirror, lipstick halfway to her mouth. In the reflection, her eyes meet mine, and for just a second, just one heartbeat, I see the woman I fell in love with. The one who used to laugh at my terrible jokes and steal my coffee and whisper my name, like a prayer in the dark. Then she blinks, and she's gone again. We happened, David. We got married, we got comfortable, we stopped trying, and now, she finishes her lipstick with one smooth stroke. Now I want you to disappear. She walks out without another word, leaving me sitting in our bed. No, her bed now, staring at the space where she stood. The morning light doesn't look like diamonds anymore. It looks like the aftermath of something broken, and in the silence she leaves behind, I make a decision that will change everything. If she wants me to disappear, maybe it's time I listened. I don't go to work. For the first time in 12 years, I call in sick when I'm not. The lie tastes bitter on my tongue, but not as bitter as Elena's words still echoing in my head. I want you to disappear. Instead, I drive, no destination, just motion. The city blurs past my windows, traffic lights bleeding into streaks of red and green. People walking sidewalks like they know where they're going. I envy them that certainty. My phone buzzes. A text from Elena. Dinner with the Harrisons tonight. 7 sharp. Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass her. When did I become an embarrassment? When did the man she once called her soulmate become something to be managed, contained, hidden away? I pull into a coffee shop I don't recognize in a part of town I never visit. The barista is young, maybe 20, with pink hair and kind eyes. She doesn't know I'm supposed to be at Morrison and Associates right now, reviewing contracts and pretending my marriage isn't dying by degrees. "What can I get you?" she asks, and her smile is genuine in a way I haven't seen in months. "Something strong," I say. "Something that doesn't taste like regret." She laughs, and the sound is so warm, so uncomplicated, that it actually hurts. Rough morning, rough life. She studies my face with the kind of attention Elena used to give me back when I mattered. Double espresso with a shot of hope coming up. I find a corner table and watch people through the window. A couple shares a pastry, feeding each other bites and laughing. They can't be older than 25. Still young enough to believe love lasts forever. Still young enough to think they're different. Were Elena and I ever like that? The memories feel like someone else's life now. Her hand in mine at movies. The way she'd curl against me during thunderstorms. How she used to steal my sweaters and look better in them than I ever did. My phone buzzes again. This time it's my sister Sarah. "Mom wants to know if you and Elena are coming to Sunday dinner this week." I stare at the message. Sunday dinner's at Mom's house, where Elena charms everyone with stories from her law firm while I sit silent, watching her perform the role of happy wife, where my family still believes we're the golden couple they toasted at our wedding 7 years ago. What would happen if I simply wasn't there? If I stopped showing up to the theater of our marriage? Stopped playing my part in Elena's carefully orchestrated life? The barista appears at my table with a second espresso I didn't order. "On the house," she says. "You look like you could use it." "Thank you." I glance at her name tag. "Madison, Maddie." She slides into the chair across from me without invitation. "And you're David. It's on your credit card," she explains at my surprised look. "Shouldn't you be working? Owner's daughter." She shrugs. "Perks of nepotism. So what's eating you?" "David. Wife troubles." The directness catches me off guard. Is it that obvious? You've been staring at your phone like it might bite you. And you've got that look like someone told you Santa Claus isn't real. Despite everything. I almost smile. Something like that. "Want to talk about it?" I'm a good listener. And I don't know you, so there's no judgment. There's something liberating about sitting with a stranger who doesn't know my history, doesn't have expectations. Someone who sees me as just David. Not Elena's husband, or Mom's disappointing son, or the lawyer who used to have ambition. She wants me to disappear, I hear myself saying. Maddie's eyebrows lift. Literally, those were her exact words. Ouch. She sips her own coffee, considering. "How long have you been married?" 7 years. Kids? She didn't want them. Said they would interfere with her career. "And you did?" The honesty surprises me. I wanted whatever made her happy. I thought that would be enough. Maddie nods like she understands something. "I don't. You know what the problem is with trying to make someone else happy?" "What?" "You forget to make yourself happy, and eventually they resent you for it." Her words hit like a physical blow. "What do you mean?" "I mean, maybe she doesn't want you to disappear because she hates you. Maybe she wants you to disappear because she doesn't know who you are anymore, and neither do you." Outside, it starts to rain. Fat drops streak the window, distorting the view of the street beyond. Everything looks different through the water, softer, less defined. "So what do?" I ask. Maddie stands, clearing our empty cups. "That depends. Do you want to save your marriage, or do you want to save yourself? Can't I do both?" Her smile is sad but kind. "Honey, if you could do both, you wouldn't be sitting here talking to a stranger about disappearing." I watch her walk back to the counter, her pink hair bright against the coffee shop's warm lighting. Through the rain-streaked window, the world looks like a watercolor painting, beautiful but impermanent, like it might wash away at any moment. My phone buzzes one more time. "Elena, don't forget." 7 sharp dot, but for the first time in months, maybe years, I'm not thinking about what Elena wants, I'm thinking about what I want. And maybe that's the first step toward disappearing after all. The Harrisons' dining room gleams under chandelier light, crystal and silver reflecting warmth I don't feel. Elena sits across from me, radiant in her navy dress, laughing at something Margaret Harrison just said. She's performing beautifully. Tonight, the perfect wife, the successful lawyer, the woman who has it all. I watch her like I'm seeing her for the first time, or maybe the last time. "David, you're quiet tonight," Robert Harrison observes. Refilling my wine glass. "Everything all right?" "Just thinking," I say. And Elena's laugh falters slightly. She knows that tone. "Dangerous habit," Margaret teases. "Elena, how do you put up with a husband who thinks too much?" Elena's smile is sharp as a blade. "Practice." The conversation flows around me: politics, vacation plans, the new restaurant downtown. I contribute when expected, not at the right moments, play my part. But inside, I'm somewhere else entirely. I'm remembering our first dinner party. 3 years into our marriage, Elena wore a red dress that night, and she kept catching my eye across the table, sharing secret smiles. Later, she pulled me into the host's powder room and kissed me breathless against the locked door. "I love watching you in a room full of people," she'd whispered against my neck. "Knowing you're mine." When did I stop being hers? Or when did she stop wanting me to be? Elena was just telling us about the Parker case. Margaret continues. "Sounds fascinating." I tune back in as Elena launches into a story about corporate litigation. Her eyes bright with the kind of passion she used to save for me. She's magnificent when she talks about her work, commanding, brilliant, alive in a way that makes my chest ache. The opposing counsel thought they could intimidate me. She says, gesturing with her wine glass. Little did they know I'd been preparing for that moment for months. "That's my girl," Robert says admiringly. "Always 3 steps ahead. That's my girl." The words stick in my throat. When did I stop saying things like that? When did I stop seeing her victories as ours? Under the table, Elena's foot brushes mine. An accident, probably. But the contact sends electricity up my spine. I look at her, really look at her, and for a moment our eyes meet. Something flickers their recognition, maybe, or memory. Then she looks away. After dinner, we move to the living room for coffee and cognac. The fire crackles in the hearth, casting dancing shadows on the walls. Elena settles beside me on the sofa, close enough that I can smell her perfume, the same one she's worn since we met. Jasmine and something darker underneath, mysterious. "You two are so lucky," Margaret sighs, settling into her chair. 7 years and still looking at each other like newlyweds. Elena's hand finds mine on the sofa cushion, her fingers intertwining with mine. To anyone watching, it looks like affection, but I can feel the tremor in her touch, the way she holds on just a little too tight. "We are lucky," Elena says, and her voice is steady, warm, only I can hear the hairline crack underneath. "What's your secret?" Margaret asks. Robert and I hit our rough patch around year 6. The silence stretches too long. Elena's grip on my hand tightens. "Communication," I hear myself saying. "We always tell each other exactly what we want." Elena's breath catches almost imperceptibly. Her thumb traces across my knuckles, and the touch is so familiar, so achingly familiar, that I want to weep. "That's beautiful," Margaret says. "So many couples are afraid to be vulnerable with each other." "Vulnerability," Elena echoes. And now she's looking at me with an intensity that makes the rest of the room fade away. "Yes, we've learned to be completely honest about our needs." The conversation moves on, but Elena doesn't let go of my hand. We sit there like that for another hour, playing the part of the perfect couple, while something enormous and terrible builds between us. Her thumb keeps tracing that pattern on my skin, the same one she used to trace when we lay in bed talking about our future. Back then, we had one. When we finally say our goodbyes, Margaret hugs us both warmly. "You to give me hope," she whispers to Elena. "True love does exist." In the car, Elena is quiet. She stares out the passenger window, her reflection ghost-like in the glass. I want to reach for her hand again, want to ask what she was thinking during those moments on the sofa, but the space between us feels vast as an ocean. "You were different tonight," she says finally. "Different how?" "I don't know. Present, I guess. Like you were actually there instead of just going through the motions." The admission hangs between us like a bridge I'm not sure either of us is brave enough to cross. "Elena," I start, but she shakes her head. "Don't. Please, not tonight." We drive the rest of the way in silence. At home, she disappears into the bathroom, while I sit on the edge of our bed, still wearing my dinner clothes. I can hear water running, her nightly routine as familiar as my own heartbeat. When she emerges, she's wearing the silk nightgown I bought her for our anniversary 2 years ago. She rarely wears it anymore, says it's impractical. But tonight, she looks like the woman I married, soft and beautiful and so far away it physically hurts. She stops at the foot of the bed, looking at me with those green eyes that used to be my whole world. "David," she says quietly. "Yeah, what?" I said this morning. My heart stops. "Elena, I meant it." And there it is, the truth, delivered with surgical precision, clean and final and devastating. She gets into bed, turns off her lamp, and faces away from me. I sit there in the dark, listening to her breathe, memorizing the sound. Because tomorrow, I'm going to give her exactly what she asked for. Her birthday wish is about to come true. I'm gone before dawn, not disappeared, not yet. Just gone for the morning. Driving to places that hold our memories like pressed flowers in a book I'm about to close forever. The coffee shop where we had our first date. The park where I proposed. The hotel where we spent our wedding night, now renovated beyond recognition. I'm at the bank when they open, closing our joint accounts, transferring her half to an account in her name only. The teller, a middle-aged woman with kind eyes, asks if I need help with anything else. "I'm leaving my wife," I hear myself say. She blinks, clearly not expecting this level of personal disclosure. "I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Morrison," she asked. "Me too." The words taste strange in my mouth, true but incomplete, like saying the ocean is wet accurate, but missing the vast depth underneath. My phone has been buzzing all morning. Elena, probably wondering where I am. I've never disappeared like this before, never been unreachable. In 7 years of marriage, I've been dependable to a fault, predictable, safe. Maybe that's been the problem all along. I drive to my office, but don't go up. Instead, I sit in the parking garage, engine running, watching other people start their normal days. Elena will be in her office now, sharp and focused, conquering corporate law with the same precision she's used to dissect our marriage. The phone buzzes again. This time it's a text. "Where are you? I need to talk to you." Need, not want. Even now, even when she's probably worried, it's about need, about function and utility and what serves her purposes. I turn off the phone. At home, the house feels different, lighter somehow, as if it's already letting me go. I move through our shared spaces like a ghost, seeing everything with new eyes. The wedding photos on the mantelpiece, the expensive art Elena chose for the walls, the furniture we picked out together when we still believed in forever. None of it feels like mine anymore. Maybe it never did. I'm in my study, boxing up law books I'll never need again. When I hear her car in the driveway, her key in the lock, her heels on the hardwood, quick and sharp with anger. "David?" Her voice echoes through the house. "David, where the hell have you been?" I don't answer. I keep packing, folding my life into cardboard boxes with methodical precision. She appears in the doorway, still beautiful even with fury radiating from her like heat. "I called your office. They said you never came in. I was worried something happened to you." "Something did happen to me," I say without looking up. "This morning. 7 years ago. I'm still figuring out when exactly." She steps into the room, and I can smell her perfume again. Jasmine and secrets. "What are you doing?" "What you asked me to do, David. You wanted me to disappear." I finally look at her, and the shock on her face almost makes me waver. Almost. "So I'm disappearing." She stares at the boxes, at the empty bookshelves, at me kneeling on the floor, surrounded by the remnants of a life I no longer want. "You can't be serious. You've never seen me more serious." "I didn't mean." She stops, runs a hand through her dark hair. "I was angry. I say things when I'm angry." "No, Elena. You say true things when you're angry. That's what makes you such a good lawyer." I stand, wiping dust from my hands. "You cut straight to the bone." She's shaking her head, but I can see something else in her eyes now. Something that looks almost like panic. "We can talk about this," she says. "We can go to counseling. We can what?" "Fix something that's been broken for years." I move to the window, looking out at the garden she planted when we first moved. The roses are blooming, red as blood against the white fence. "When was the last time you told me you loved me, Elena?" Silence. "When was the last time you meant it?" More silence. "And that tells me everything I need to know. I do love you," she says finally, but her voice lacks conviction. "No, you don't. You love the idea of me, the husband who doesn't make demands, the man who lets you be the star of your own life while I fade into the background. I turn from the window to face her. You love having someone who asks what you want for your birthday, and actually means it. She's crying now, and the sight of her tears breaks something in my chest that I didn't know was still intact. Don't do this, she whispers. Please, you already did it, this morning. You just didn't expect me to listen. I reach for another box, but she catches my hand. Her skin is soft and warm and familiar, and for a moment I remember what it felt like to be wanted by this woman, to be chosen. David, please, can we try? Try what? To pretend you don't resent everything I've become? To act like we haven't been strangers living in the same house for the past 2 years? Her grip tightens on my hand. I never meant for it to get this bad. Neither did I. But here we are. We stand there in my half-empty study, holding hands, like survivors of a shipwreck, and I can see our entire relationship reflected in her eyes. The beginning, when we couldn't get enough of each other. The middle years, comfortable and warm. The slow drift toward separate lives under the same roof. What if I said I was wrong? She asks. What if I said I don't want you to disappear? Then I'd say you're scared of being alone, but that's not the same as wanting me to stay. She flinches like I've slapped her. Elena. I lift our joined hands, press a kiss to her knuckles like I used to do when we were young and everything felt possible. Let me go. I can't. Yes, you can. It's the kindest thing you could do for both of us. Her tears fall harder now, and I want to comfort her. Want to take back everything I've said and pretend we can fix this. But that's the old David talking, the one who measured his worth by her happiness. The new David, the one born from her birthday wish, knows better. I let go of her hand and reach for another box. After a long moment, she turns and walks away. 6 months later, I'm standing in front of Maddie's coffee shop, watching her through the window as she serves a young couple their first date lattes. She's cut her pink hair shorter, and it suits her, frames her face in a way that makes her look both younger and wiser somehow. The bell chimes as I enter, and she looks up with that same genuine smile that caught me off guard all those months ago. David, she comes around the counter to hug me, and the gesture is warm and uncomplicated. Look at you, you look different. Happy, she says, studying my face. Really happy. It's a good look on you. I've lost weight. Let my hair grow longer than Elena ever liked it. I'm wearing jeans and a sweater instead of a suit, and my hands are stained with paint from the art classes I've started taking. Small changes that feel monumental. The usual, Maddie asks, already knowing the answer. Actually, I'll try something new today. She grins. That's my boy. Personal growth through caffeinated beverages. While she works, I settle at what's become my regular table. The coffee shop has become a kind of sanctuary for me, a place where I can be just David. Not David who used to be married, or David the lawyer who walked away from everything. Maddie brings over something frothy and sweet smelling, caramel macchiato, with extra shot. Trust me, I do, I say, and mean it. Trust has become easier since I stopped trying to earn it from someone who wasn't willing to give it. So, she settles across from me with her own cup. How are the divorce proceedings going? Finalized yesterday. The words should feel heavier, but instead they feel like wings. I'm officially a free man, and Elena, I sip the macchiato. It's perfect, sweet and strong, and exactly what I didn't know I wanted. She fought it at first, tried to get me to come back, tried to negotiate some kind of compromise, but eventually, she let you go. We let each other go. Through the window, I can see couples walking by, some holding hands, others walking in parallel lines that never quite touch. I don't feel bitter watching them anymore. Mostly, I feel grateful for what Elena and I had when it was good, and for the courage to leave when it wasn't. Any regrets? Maddie asks. I consider this. I regret how long it took me to listen. I regret that we hurt each other in the end. But leaving, I shake my head. No regrets there. The bell chimes, and I look up to see a familiar figure walking in. Sarah, my sister, looking around uncertainly until she spots me. I wave her over, and she approaches with the cautious expression she's worn around me since the divorce became final. Hi, she says to Maddie, then to me. Mom sent me. She's worried. You're not eating enough. I actually laugh for the first time in what feels like years. Tell Mom I'm fine. Better than fine. Sarah studies my face the way Maddie did, searching for signs of the broken man she expected to find. Instead, she sees what everyone sees now, someone who's learned the difference between disappearing and simply becoming visible to himself. You really are okay, she says, wonder in her voice. I really am. She sits down, accepts coffee from Maddie, and for the next hour we talk about everything except Elena, my art classes, the small apartment I've rented downtown, the volunteer work I've started doing with kids who age out of foster care, a life built from scratch, designed around what I want instead of what someone else needs from me. After Sarah leaves, Maddie and I sit in comfortable silence, watching the afternoon light shift across the coffee shop's walls. The place will close soon, and I'll walk to my apartment through streets that still feel new and full of possibility. Can I ask you something? Maddie says finally. Sure. Do you think she really wanted you to disappear? Or did she just want you to become someone worth staying for? It's a question I've asked myself 1,000 times, I think. I say slowly. She wanted me to choose myself for once, even if it meant choosing to leave. And did you choose yourself? I mean, I look around the coffee shop at the mismatched chairs and the local art on the walls, and the woman with pink hair who saw me when I was invisible, at the life I've built from the ruins of the one I walked away from. Yeah, I say. I think. I finally did. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. I heard about your art show next month. I'm proud of you. I stare at the message for a long moment, feeling something shift in my chest. Not pain, exactly. Not longing. Something more like completion. I show Maddie the text, and she nods like she understands. Are you going to respond? She asks. Maybe. I pocket the phone. Probably, eventually. But not today. Today, I'm exactly where I want to be, with someone who sees me clearly, living a life I chose rather than one that chose me. Elena wanted me to disappear, and in a way, I did. The man I was, the one who lived for someone else's happiness, vanished completely. What emerged from his ashes is someone I actually like spending time with. Someone worth staying for. As Maddie flips the sign to closed and starts turning off lights, I think about birthday wishes and how sometimes the cruelest gifts are the ones that set you free. I think Elena knew that all along. She just had to be brave enough to break my heart to prove it.